Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. So as you know, we have already discussed about complete theory of Machiavelli. So today I will teach you about complete summary of Machiavelli. So without any further ado, let's get started. Machiavelli's importance was in providing an outlook that accepted both secularization and amoralization of politics. He took politics out of the context of theology and subordinated moral principles to the necessities of political existence and people's welfare. He had very little interest in non political matters. Even his interest in spiritual and religious matters was strictly political. His philosophy was public and not private. The absence of religious polemics in Machiavelli led the theorists who followed to confront issues like order and power in strictly political terms. The leitmotif of Machiavelli's posthumous life was his great assertion as a thinker, representing his true and essential contribution to the history of human thought, namely the clear recognition of the autonomy and the necessity of politics, which lies outside the realm of what is morally good or evil. Machiavelli thereby rejected the medieval concept of unity and became one of the pioneers of the modern spirit. Okay, next. Machiavelli was also the first to speak of the raison d'etre of the state. He could perceive the forces shaping the modern nation state like nationalism, national security, and territorial integrity, militarism as forces to safeguard and further state interests. His achievement lay in confronting the secular state and scientifically inquiring into its nature and behavior. His political realism allowed him to remain neutral towards the means that were to be employed for achieving the ends. Political activities were to be analyzed and appreciated, keeping in mind whether they would achieve the objectives for which they were intended. Like the sophist, he judged actions not as actions but solely in terms of their consequences. He could foresee the rise of science and capitalism. Some recent interpretations even view him as the earliest exponent of liberalism and pluralism. Okay, Machiavelli was the first to state and systematically espouse the power view of politics, laying down the foundations of a new science in the same way as Galileo's dynamics became the basis of the modern science of nature. Machiavelli identified politics as the struggle for the acquisition, maintenance, and consolidation of political power, an analysis developed by Hobbes and Harrington in the 17th century, Alexander Hamilton and James Madison in the 18th century, Pareto Mosca and Michels in the 19th century, and Edward Hallard Carr, Robert Duhamel, David Easton, Hans Morgenthau, Morton Kaplan, and Harold Laswell in the 20th century. By emphasizing the importance of the study of history, Machiavelli established a method that was extremely useful. However, in spite of being a keen observer of history, he presumed that human nature remained permanent and constant, making it possible to deduce principles of political behavior. However, the reason for such a presumption was because of the fact that he lived in an age of flux where the political order was transient. The belief in a timeless human nature with permanent needs became the yardstick to measure and explain the transience of political and social orders. In spite of his depiction of the dark side of human nature, he never lost faith in the importance of good society and its role in shaping human nature. He was the first to study extensively the role of corruption in political life. His writings proud about the central moral dilemmas of political life, for he spoke of unsavory and unpalatable truths. He rightly observed that in political life, purity of life and goodness of heart mattered little. Success was important, and to be successful, a good person had to learn to be bad without appearing to be so. Glory, liberty, and virtue constituted the essential ingredients of political success in Machiavelli's lexicon. He lamented the decline of virtue in contemporary Italy, which prevented its unification and independence. He condemned an ostentatious and luxurious life which precluded acts of glory and virtue. Machiavelli also accepted conflict as permanent and universal, seeing it as natural, unlike his predecessors who viewed social conflict as unnatural and curable by certain kinds of social systems. The basis of social conflict was the permanent struggle between the common man and the powerful and the moneyed, though he did not explain the struggle in economic terms. He understood struggle in terms of war between states for power and domination within a state. The cause for domestic instability and strife was the desire among the majority for security of their lives and possessions, while a small number, the oligarchs, sought to dominate and control the masses. From Polybius, Machiavelli realized that conflict was not only widely prevalent, but it could also be transformed into an instrument to promote socially useful ends. The difference in the nature of conflict between a corrupt and a virtuous commonwealth was the degree and quality of conflict, and not the presence or absence of it. In a virtuous commonwealth, conflict was conducted within the confines on the common good, respect for law and authority, and with minimum use of violence. Freedom meant tolerating social conflict. Conflict, if well managed and handled by political compromise, became a source of strength and vibrance to the political process. To illustrate the difference, Machiavelli used the Roman example, contrasting it with that of Florence. In Rome, conflict between the plebeians and patricians was institutionalized within the Senate and the popular assemblies with their tribunes without sapping the vitality of the republic or the liberties of the citizens. In contrast, in Florence, with atomization of society and each person becoming an island, religiousness, civic virtue, honesty, and respect of authority declined. Factionalism and conspiracies were rampant, and government became an arena for powerful coteries. Economic inequalities increased, indolence and luxury undermined the social fabric, virtue declined, and greed increased. Enforcement of law became weak and was compromised according to contingencies. So, unless there was a renewal of the civic order and a return to the first principle, even prudent statesmanship would not be able to stem the tide towards degeneration and decay. Machiavelli accepted that change was the way of life, and everything, even the best ordered states like Rome and Sparta, would decline. Enforcement of law became weak and was compromised according to contingencies. So, unless there was a renewal of the civic order and a return to the first principles, even prudent statesmanship would not be able to stem the tide towards degeneration and decay. Machiavelli accepted that change was the way of life, and everything, even the best ordered states like Rome and Sparta, would decline. For Machiavelli, a well ordered state ensured the well being and security necessary to combat social conflict and the radical selfishness of human nature. The state had no higher end or any divine purpose. It did not have a personality different or superior to those who constituted it. Successful state depended on the presence of a strong military, protection of the life, property, family and honor of every citizen, economic prosperity without promoting individual economic aggrandizement, strict regulation of luxury, good laws and respect for authority, recognition of meritorious citizens, and opportunities for the ambitious to rise within the state based on ability. A well ordered state was also one where the citizens knew for certain the legal consciousness of their actions. Hence, Machiavelli proposed a rational legal system that eliminated arbitrariness, guaranteed legal equality, regularized procedures for the redressal of grievances, prohibited retroactive laws, and executed laws efficiently and vigorously. Machiavelli was one of the exponents of civic republicanism, inspiring subsequent theorists from diverse standpoints like Jean Bodin, Hobbes, Harrington, Spinoza, Rousseau, Burke, Hegel, and de Tocqueville. Machiavelli and his contemporary Francisco prescribed institutional and moralistic remedies to secure and protect civic freedoms. A stable republic supported by patriotic citizens who in turn should place public good over private gain, refrain from factional squabbles, and willingly fight for the defense of their country. Guaranteed freedom. Patriotism was sustained by the continual participation of citizens in civic affairs and religion other than Christianity. The crucial issue for Machiavelli was the possibility of civic virtue among a citizenry in a commercial society. He looked upon the Swiss as having honor, but they could not provide the rulers that Europe or Italy needed. The problem that confronted Machiavelli also vexed Ibn Khaldun, who accepted civility and cohesion as mutually incompatible. However, the problem was solved with cities providing the first element and the tribes the second. For Khaldun, the Turks, Arabs, and Berbers provided an inexhaustible supply of rulers and warriors who would complement the uncohesive, atomized specialist of the productive, urbanized, and sedentarized world. Machiavelli was a keen and perceptive observer of the systems in the East, and according to him, these states contained ingredients which he thought to be crucial. The Eastern Central State was not an apex body within a complex pyramid of power. Both in law and otherwise, there was sufficient dispersal of effective authority. As a result, society never got disrupted nor rendered helpless. But the Eastern State had a strong center, which, if destroyed, would mean its end. Gramsci praised the greatness of Machiavelli for separating politics from ethics. Following Croce's description of Marx as the proletariat, Gramsci tried to analyze the ramification of the political aspect of Machiavelli's theory by writing The Modern Prince, which remained incomplete. In the prison notebooks, there were a number of references to Machiavelli, and Gramsci pointed out that the protagonist of the new prince in modern times could not be an individual hero, but the political party whose objective was to establish a new kind of state. Undeservedly, Machiavelli was seen as the devil's agent, confined to permanent infamy for preaching villainy and duplicitous pursuit of political power. It was the price that he paid for making the first attempt to develop a new science of politics and identifying the essential ingredients of modern political theory. It was his good fortune that the greatest political thinker that Italy produced did not meet the same fate as Galileo did. Alright friend, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe my channel, and do share with your loved ones. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.